Today honestly feels like the start of 2023 all over again. And today is Tuesday, January 10th. There's just been so much going on through December and the start of the year that I just don't really feel like I had a chance to truly pause and take in the new year and just really get into like the new routine and also start working on implementing the goals that I'm trying to set for myself this year, all the little habits and things like that. Especially with a very spontaneous trip to London, doing my birthday there. I feel like now that I'm back, I am truly getting started on this new year and I am so excited. Like, this is my year, whether the year knows it or not. It's my year no matter what happens. I don't care what happens. I am claiming this as my year. It's gonna be great. I mean, I started off the year going to London for my birthday, so it's already starting off good. But honestly, regardless of what happens for the rest of the year, the good, the bad, the ugly, I am ready for it all. I'm still claiming this is gonna be the best year yet. I'm claiming it right here, right now. And we're getting it started today, officially. So one thing that's really important to me to implement this year is actually like a real skincare routine. If I'm being completely honest, it's just something that I haven't like totally prioritized the way that I should have. Obviously, like, I take care of my skin, but I've never had a routine. And whenever I stick to a routine for like more than 2 days straight, I feel so good. The skin looks good. I know I'm doing something good for myself. So that is how I'm gonna start the day from here on out, instead of just sitting and scrolling for as long as I do in bed, which is so bad. We're taking care of the skin. And it's also a good like way to wake up, honestly. I think it's time, guys. I think this is our last few moments with the tree. Yesterday morning as I was leaving London, they were taking down all the Christmas lights around the area, and it just was like, okay, I get it. I get it. It's time. But it doesn't feel like time. This is gonna be really sad to say goodbye to, but I'm ready for a clean slate and the fresh start. Even though it's so nice and pretty, but I gotta fresh start it in here. I gotta bring back the olive tree and just clean it out in here, get rid of the Christmas. It's like, you know, the middle of January, it's time. So this year, my top priority is myself. And not in like the selfish way of like me. More so just like being the best version of myself in the most honest way possible. I wanna hopefully inspire you guys to just like own yourself, own your truth. And I wanna live a life that makes me proud. Because really at the end of the day, like, you're the only one living your life, and at the end of it, like, I hope it looks good. You wanna look back and be like, yeah, I lived my life for myself. As of this year, I have spent 10 years sharing my life on the internet, a decade of my life. And with having an audience of this size, people watch me for different reasons. Everyone has a different version of me in their head. Some people watch these videos to be inspired or just entertainment. Some people watch me as like a good hate watch. Some people think I'm funny. Some people think I'm stupid. I mean, there's a million reasons why people watch people on the internet. Starting this channel, you know, as a teenager, and then growing my channel in my early 20s, and now I'm in my late 20s. I think over the last 10 years, I subconsciously absorbed all of those different beliefs from other people, as that is who I am. And this is a year where I'm just gonna claim who I am for myself. I think your 20s are about figuring out who you are and figuring out all those traits that people view you as, that you view yourself as. Everything is a projection, and that is what I've come to learn in the last literally 6 months. I mean, you can hear this, you can read this, but there's a certain switch in your head, I think. And mine switched off a few months ago, and I realized that everyone's perception of you is based on their own experience. Like, it doesn't actually have any reflection of who you are. Only you truly know who you are, and I'm trying to own my shit now. We are all a collection of a bunch of different traits, and you're not just one, you're not just like 5 of them, you're a whole bunch of things. And if someone calls you one name, that is not your entirety, and it's kind of freeing. I think as long as we all try to be like the best version of ourselves for us and for everyone else, like, if you're not hurting anyone, you're doing okay. So today we're getting back on track with the goals, and I am sharing all those goals with you guys. So first and foremost, I obviously want to work on myself. I've had a version of myself in my head that I've kind of been inching towards in the last year. And this year I just want to push myself a little further to be that version of me that I know I can be, that I know I have inside of me that I am, that I just need to like put a little extra effort into being. For many years, I've been putting together like a mental visual image of who I would like to be. Like, what does my ideal version of myself look like? And I think that's step one, is figure out where you're going, because otherwise it's hard to make the goals and it's hard to actually figure out the path to get there. So essentially right now I'm trying to just better some of my habits. I want to build routines that actually add value to my day-to-day life, such as a skincare routine. Very simple, and I should have had it years ago, but I didn't. Either way, it's better now than never. So I am just implementing little things like that, making my bed every morning. I started doing that last year, and I really like the feeling of it because I like getting into a made bed at the end of the day. Surprise, surprise. I thought I didn't give a shit. It's actually pretty nice. Another big one is getting into better shape. I've never had a set workout routine ever in my life. I've always tried and I've always fell off. So you guys know that I started working out with my now friend Kaya at like the end of last year-ish, or maybe September. I don't know. But I've been doing an hour-long class with her once a week for many weeks now. It's become a part of my routine. Every Tuesday I know I'm seeing Kaya and we're working out. She is amazing. Hi, Kaya!
Yay! I took 2 days off.
I love it for you! Working out with Kaya literally changed the entire way that I view working out in general. Growing up, I always thought like you work out to look good, even though that's really not what it should be about. You know, you want to be in good shape and you want to feel healthy, but her mindset is just like so much healthier around working out. She makes you feel so comfortable in your own skin. And I think with working out, or even just like any lifestyle change that you're trying to like, you know, implement, it's really important to be easy on yourself and to not go too heavy too quickly. Because I feel like whenever I do that, it's inevitable I'm gonna fall off. Like if I go too hard, it's hard to maintain that. So I think with just doing once a week, it's actually allowed me to get used to that, get into the routine of that, and then end up ultimately craving more. That's kind of where I'm at now. I do want to start adding more active time into my day-to-day life. The days that I don't work out with Kaya, I actually want to, you know, get on the treadmill and walk. That can seem really boring. So my plan is to like bring my book down there and read while I walk. And I could read forever. So I feel like that's a way to inspire me to do it because then I get to read my book. And I'm also, you know, doing something good for my body. I can't even tell you what a joy it is to have a little bit of London with me right now. Like I'm gonna have my little London lunch, even though I'm not in London anymore. We got my chicken, avocado, and basil sandwich here. It's such a simple, basic, classic sandwich, but it brings me so much joy. Oh my God. It does not taste like it was on a 7-hour flight yesterday. Tastes fresh as fuck. It's amazing. Obviously, when it comes to health, you know, everything in moderation is what I truly believe in. I don't think you should ever push yourself too hard to attain something. I also don't think it's realistic to cut things out of your diet, or you really just don't want to overdo anything. My dad's favorite saying that he said to me for years is stay hungry. Essentially, don't do something so much that you get sick of it. And obviously that's gonna look different for everyone. For me, it's been once a week. Easing into that has been good. But obviously with health, you know, it's not just about working out. Obviously I want to fuel myself with healthy things, but again, everything in moderation. Mostly I just want to be more conscious of the foods that I'm, you know, consuming. I want to eat more nutritious meals versus just what's quick and easy. But also sometimes there's going to be times where you just want the quick and easy, and that's okay. I think it's more about the mindset, just like being more aware of what you're doing and like what benefits you and what doesn't, and just try to be more conscious of it, you know? Final moments with my tree. I'm gonna take it down like in an hour or something. But I want to talk about some of my mindset goals that I've set for myself this year. I have all these different goals, like physical ones, you know, being more active, but I really do believe that your mindset controls literally everything. Everything is dependent on the way that you look at the world. So the first thing on my mindset list for 2023 is no more negative self-talk. I think this is like very important because we all do it, and I think it's important to just be aware of the fact that we're doing it. There are so many things that go through my head just throughout the day that I don't even notice I'm saying to myself, and like, why would you think negatively about yourself? Why look in the mirror and be like, oh my God, I'm looking ugly today? Or like, why get down on yourself if you didn't achieve something that you were hoping for? You can keep trying, you know? We put so much pressure on ourselves just naturally, subconsciously, whether we're aware of it or not. So I'm done with that. I'm going to rewire every negative thought that I have for myself. If I ever catch myself thinking something bad, or if I feel bad about myself or whatever, I'm gonna twist it and I'm gonna say the opposite, because the more you do that, the more naturally that's gonna happen. The second thing is to no longer engage in negativity. I've worked on this for so many years. It's still something that I know I'm not gonna be perfect at this year, but I'm going to work on it. It's a goal of mine. I find so often that when I see a negative comment, I just wanna prove myself. I wanna like be like, no, you're wrong. But you know, at the end of the day, it's just not worth it, because no matter what, like no matter how much you try to prove yourself to somebody, whether it's in person, online, you know, wherever negativity comes to you, as I mentioned earlier, truly everything's a projection, like literally everything. And once you realize that, like it just makes it so much easier to no longer have to explain yourself to people that are choosing not to understand you. It's one of those things that's taken me a long time to understand, that no matter how much you try to better yourself or you try to like just do good and just be better, sometimes people will put you in a box and they will choose to view you however which way they want to view you. So that no matter what you actually do and what the real experience is, people are gonna think what they're gonna think, and you really can't change people's mindsets. So the only thing you can really do is just accept that and just live your life. And that's the goal. That's the goal. It's the overarching theme of this year. Confidence in myself. That's my word of the year, in case you missed my first video of the year. Confidence in myself, my decisions, the way I speak, the way I carry myself, the whole thing. The third thing I've actually seen a few people talk about online, just people I follow, is the 9 to 9 rule. I didn't follow that this morning because I had some jet lag and I woke up at 5 a.m. But basically it's like no social media or phone before 9 a.m. and then no social media or phone after 9 p.m. 9 to 9 rule. I'm somebody that has always checked my phone the first second I open my eyes in the morning, and that like just can't be good for your brain. It just can't. Honestly, I don't really know how to do this because I don't know what to do first thing in the morning if I don't check my phone. It's something that I've done for so many years. So if you have any ideas of what to do, or if you do something in the morning before you check your phone, let me know down below, because any kind of tips would be greatly appreciated. I know how to not be on social media after 9 because I have other things I can do. Anyways, that's my goal, because I think it would be really beneficial for myself to not sit and scroll first thing in the morning. Lastly is to just continue practicing gratitude. I think no matter what you have or where you're at in life, there's always something you can be grateful for. And the more you focus on the positive, the more you're gonna see of it versus focusing on the negative. It's so easy to focus on, oh my God, I don't have a big enough apartment, or I don't have enough money for this, or I don't have a partner. That's the lack mentality. And you switch it to be like, oh, but I have so many amazing friends, or I have a roof over my head. You know, there's so many ways of flipping that mindset to be positive. And genuinely, I think the more you focus on those things and you just try to flip it whenever you have one of those negative thoughts, the more positive you're gonna be, and then the more positive you will receive in your life. So every morning I want to write 3 things that I'm grateful for, whether it's, you know, a blue sky or something bigger than that. There's always something you can think of to be grateful for. Part of me doesn't want to take it down because I'm like, it's still like wintry out, but I feel like it's gotta go. Goodbye, Christmas. All right, tree. I don't know, how did I do this last year? Maybe I just, all right. Well, should I turn it off first? I don't really want to do that. This is really heavy. What? Okay. Oh man. Fuck. Holy shit, man. Did I do this myself last year? Like, I can't really imagine, because this is very heavy. Where does the time go? All right. Okay. This feels like a workout in itself. Last piece. I guess I have to unplug it now. There it goes. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. All right, well, you know, that's pretty cute too still. And I finally have something for this. Spanish moss. That looks so much better, finally. I had it bare for like a year, and finally, she's complete. So if you didn't know, I am a huge believer in manifestation. I have been for a long time. I truly believe in it. And I've been finding lately that very frequently, if I say something out loud, the universe or whatever you believe in shows me in some way that it's listening. Now, these things can be coincidences, whatever, but I choose to believe that there are signs that I'm on the right path. It's actually freaky, I find. Sometimes I'll say something out loud and then within like 2 minutes, I will see the thing that I said out loud. Like, it won't make sense, but it will be there. And it happens at least once a week, I find. Vision boards are something that I like to do every year. I've done this for years now, and I just love it. They're essentially just like a visual representation of your goals and the things that you are hoping for. So I make one every year to represent the goals that I have for that year. I find it to be such a fun activity, just like, you know, scrolling on Pinterest, finding pictures that inspire you and things that just make you excited, and then combining them into a cute little collage to look at all the time, I think is so much fun. fun. It's also really nice just to like get into it with yourself, put on your music, set the vibe, put on some candles, like whatever it is that makes you feel comfy and happy, like do that and make yourself a little vision board. It is so fun. It's also really fun to look back at the end of the year and see what on your vision board came true. So I always make mine by scrolling on Pinterest. You can also make a physical one if you want, but I like to have it for my phone background and also my computer screen. And I find pictures that inspire me and also represent the goals that I'm trying to, put into my life for the year. And then I use Adobe Photoshop to make my little collage, but there's so many online. You can just Google, collage maker. It's seriously so much fun. And there's no better time to do it than the beginning of a new year. Okay, I've been having a lovely time over here. Let me show you my vision board. So here's one for my computer screen. It's a little more in depth. We have some travel over here. I want to travel like once a month. Obviously we have some inspiration around here. I want to do more like girls' nights, make a lot of money, more travel, self-care, self-improvement, travel, health. I want to be more creative, just like for myself. Sketch more, draw more, whatever. This is just a cute picture. Here's some inspo. And this is the one for my iPhone. I put like the most aesthetic ones on here. Still like giving some inspo, overall vibes, So another thing that I like doing at the beginning of the year that's like in the manifestation world is that I like to write a letter to myself from the end of the year. So I kind of write it like in the future, but I write it in present tense. So this year I'm writing on the date December 31st, 2023. Essentially, I'm writing all the things that happened this year that I hope to happen, but I write them as if they've already been achieved. By visualizing it and writing it and acting as if this is what's happened, and I just write it and trust that the things that I've written will come to me. I love doing this, and I also like looking back at my past letters because it's cool to see what actually happened. And a lot of the time I find a lot comes true, so I'm gonna keep writing these. Set 20-minute timer.
20 minutes starting now.
Stunning. And we're back to soup season. It feels good. Mmm, mmm. These lights are staying. They're gonna be year-round lights. It's 9:30 and I am somehow still awake. I feel like I went to bed at like 9:45 last night just due to jet lag, and I'm doing okay. So I feel like this jet lag's not gonna be so bad. But every time I say that, it ends up being bad. But this time I think it'll be fine. Putting my phone away, starting a new book, starting book number 3. We're 10 days in and I'm on my 3rd book. Started off strong with the first 2. So I started with a thriller, rock, paper, scissors. It was really crazy. It was really good. It kept me like totally hooked to it the whole time. I couldn't wait to see what happened. I felt like up until the last page, I was like, what is happening? There was a point where I literally out loud was like, wait, what? Like, what am I reading right now? One of those things where I have to read back a few pages and like read it a few times because I'm like, no, this is not adding up. Second book I read was Funny You Should Ask. This is, I think, one of my top books ever. Like, I loved the book. I read it so quickly, but I was so invested in the characters, the story, like everything. Essentially, it's about a journalist who interviews one of her all-time favorite celebrity crushes, a dream, and has just like the most unbelievable weekend with him. And then 10 years later, she's asked to recreate the interview with him. And it is just a wild ride. I feel like getting to, see the emotions through the 10 years. It's just like so good. It's also based on a Chris Evans interview, which I think is really interesting. So I kind of pictured Chris Evans as the celebrity in the book. I loved it. I loved it so much. And I think for book number 3, I'm going to read, I'm trying to read the books that I've already downloaded and just like get through them before I buy any more books. I'm thinking I'm gonna read Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Heard really good things about it, so I think I'm gonna start that one. Book number 3. Ooh, it's a long one. Shoot. 572 pages. I think that's my longest book yet. I'm gonna read it. It's gonna be fine. I just gotta get through the books I've already bought. Anyways, guys, this is the end of my first day back, getting into my routine, starting the year off strong. I'm probably gonna read this for 30 minutes and pass out. I can feel it in me, but we'll see how far I get into it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. Would love to know your goals and intentions that you're setting for yourself this year. Let me know if you've made a vision board. Share it with me on Instagram. I would love to see yours. Let me know how you're feeling about the year. Just excited to be home, back to normal. Always feels good to get into routine, even though it's so sad not to be in London. Anyways, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye.